Hello, my name is Denzel Belin, and welcome to my green screen. A green screen is a place where so many things can happen and be projected about, but for this series, we're going to keep this screen blank and let the imagination come to us as we discuss all things improvisational theater. Now for this section, I would like to discuss improv theory. So we're going to dive into where improv came from, the way that improv looks now, and some current contemporary thought surrounding improv theater. Now, improv theater, as we know it, started around the 1940s with a woman called Viola Spolin, who took a whole bunch of theater exercises and was like, I think this would be engaging and entertaining on its own, which is how we understand improv today. Now, we have a whole lot of improv with a lot of really strong people who helped create it. Del Close, who learned from Viola Spolin's son, is a pioneer of the improv community and even created his own form, the Herald. That Herald is a long-form structure, and we'll be discussing what that means in a little bit. Now, improv takes place in a lot of different ways. Now, the idea isn't quite new, like as 1940s new. In fact, we see a lot of improv when we talk a lot about early theater. When we talk about mask work, that highly depended on the art of the Lotzi, or finding something that the audience really loved in a show and repeating it for maximum comedic impact. Now, improv theater, as we know it today, is its own form. Most often, people get out, they get a suggestion, and they create a magical realm of scenes or scene based off of that inspiration jumping off point. Now, there's a lot of different types of improv, but primarily you can break that down into short form, mid form, and long form improvisation. Now, short form improvisation is game-based improv. So that would be a very small, highly contained structure that you would do for a shorter period of time. This was popularized best on the show Whose Line Is It Anyways? Now, these often are a collection of games, such as the alphabet game, where it would be a two-person scene. The first person speaks, the first word that they say must start with the letter A. The next person speaks, the first word they say starts with the letter B. Then we come back to that first person for the letter C, so on and so forth till we have reached the full alphabet. Usually that's met with a blackout and thunderous applause. There are so many already established improv games that you can learn and create your own short form show. You can also create your own improv games in this very style. There's no one dictating what's a game, what isn't. So I always encourage people to try out the classics, but also create your own. Now, there's mid-form improv. Mid-form improv isn't actually particularly prevalent in the Twin Cities, but when you go to markets like Austin, you'll see it everywhere. Now, that takes a lot of aspects of the short-form improv and umbrellas them in a larger context. So, for instance, in Austin, the form maestro is very popular. Now, what maestro is it's two teams pitted against each other as they challenge each other to be able to do scenes meeting a certain challenge. So those challenges can often look like short-form games. I may issue the challenge of, I want to see that team do a scene where they have to go through the alphabet where the first word a person speaks starts with the letter A, the next person B, so on and so forth. Sounds a lot like the alphabet game, exactly. You can also come up with new, unique challenges. For instance, when I had the chance to travel to Providence, Rhode Island to perform at the Ocean City Improv Festival, I participated in Maestro, where I received the challenge of to do a scene that highly incorporated the number 3. Now, being the theater person I was, I turned back to my team and I said, are we familiar with the play Three Sisters? They said no, and I said, great, let's do it. And we came up with a great scene. They picked up on cues great, and we did something that was a send-off of Chekhov and made everyone laugh and chuckle. Midform can be super fun, and just because it's not popular where you may be, doesn't mean that you can't do it yourself. Now, long-form improvisation has a great, rich history here at the Twin Cities. We actually have a long-form improv theater that's dedicated to the craft called Huge Theater. In fact, I took a lot of classes there, and Occasionally, I teach classes there too. Now, long-form improvisation is more scenic. It's not necessarily based off of a game or overarching collection of games, but usually what happens is we get one suggestion, and then we do a scene based off of that, usually around 2 or 3 minutes, but it can be any length. And then we transition into another scene inspired by that previous scene in some way, shape, or form. Maybe we take characters, themes, a prop, a word, but we take all of those elements and we do another scene. And then another. And then another. And another. And all of a sudden, 25 minutes, 50 minutes, however long our show is, has passed. We get that final hard blackout. Thunderous applause. We take our bows. Long-form improv is particularly fun for me because it reminds me so much of the theater work that I love to do and some of the sketch work I do at the Brave New Workshop Satire Comedy Theater. Now, I bet you're familiar with this concept of yes and that is very popularized when people think of improv. Yes and has been a great philosophy for a lot of people, but I've noticed recently a lot of people have bucked against it. It feels relatively constricting when we think of the idea that no matter what someone says, I have to say yes to that and build upon it. It could put you in a tricky situation. However, when looking at the origination of where that came from, origination being a word I just came up with just now, it's actually more than just saying yes. I like to think of yes and as acknowledgement and addition. The yes in yes and is just simply acknowledging you understand what are the realities that are being set forward. In improv, you can create a wide breadth of worlds that you can create, each with their own rules and beliefs and any number of ways that you can play. Now, when you say yes when establishing that, you're simply letting your scene partner know, hey, I hear you. And I understand how this world works based off of the way that we've established it right now. So if someone's like, wow, Mars sure is smelly. That yes that you'd be saying with that yes and is letting someone know, hey, I hear you. And Mars is a smelly place. The reason we don't just straight up say no is because it starts to break down those realities. Imagine you're thinking of something to say. You're about to start a scene. And you're like, wow, Mars is sure smelly here. And someone goes, no, it's not. Where do we go from there? How do we get the reality back on track? How do we choose who to believe? It becomes confusing not only for the players at hand, but for your audience that's watching. Which is why that yes is simply acknowledgement. You know, that smelliness on Mars, you could really enjoy that smelliness. You could really hate that smelliness. The smelliness could not bother you as much. But for you to say yes, you're simply saying, hey, I acknowledge what you're saying, and it is a part of this reality. The and is more important than ever in the yes and phrase. The and is addition. The and shows that as we're playing and as we're creating, that you have a voice, that you have agency in the work that you are creating. So when someone gives you the idea of, oh, Mars sure is smelly, you get to also add things about that place. Cool, so we know Mars, we know that it smells. Well, what's the temperature like? What else is happening on Mars? There's so many things that you can think of, and guess what? You get to be a part of making that happen. So I hope people, when you're encountering improv and you're thinking, oh God, there's this idea of yes, and you're thinking, wow, how cool that I know that when I bring forth an idea, that someone is going to be like, hey, I hear what you have to say, and I'm listening to it, and I'm acknowledging that. And I'm not going to make you build this world on your own. That I'm also bringing a brick to this project, and that if I bring a brick, and you bring a brick, and we all bring a brick, then many hands make light work and funny work. So improv theater is often associated with the idea of improv comedy, that improv is this very funny thing that you can do and get people to laugh, and, well, that's correct. But improv has a lot of application, especially when it comes to being a performing artist. I mean, people use it all the time to help them dive deeper into characters, whether that's sitcom work where the goal is funny or even bigger dramatic pieces. Don't believe me? Well, just ask Angela Bassett. Watch this moment where Keke Palmer is reliving one of her favorite moments in impersonation of Angela Bassett, and Angela shows how she came up with it.
So get myself together. So I'll go ahead and do your amazing, incredible performance in American Dream, the Michael Jackson story, where, Catherine catches her husband cheating on her, Mr. Joe Jackson. Okay, here we go.
You a lie, and you a cheat. And I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more.
Yes! I'm telling you, that scene is too good.
You're a liar, and you're a cheat. And I don't want you. No, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more.
And that line was improvised.
Now let's get into it. Because period, it was too good.
Yes.
Your acting is just too good. And that's why it's so easy, honestly, to impersonate in my mind, because I'm like, you just got to put that emotion into it.
Now, improv, comedy, theater, whatever you want to call it, can be this amazing performing experience, both on stage and in the audience. But maybe you're like, hey, Denzel, this all sounds really cool, but I'm not actually for sure if performing is the thing I want to be doing. Guess what? There are so many skills that people learn in improv. I have taught so many people who are from all walks of life, from nurses to teachers, and they all are able to get something out of improv. Improv helps you think out of the box when you need to. Improv teaches you crucial listening skills and how to communicate, not only verbally, but physically as well. Improv helps you learn about group collaboration and ideation and creating things. And frankly, we do that all the time together. Improv is a safe, trusting environment that I know that, especially when I teach, we work to cultivate a place where play is okay, joy is a driving force, and we're working together to create something amazing. And we can do that in so many different aspects of our lives. Now, theory is fun, but should we actually see it in practice? Here's a clip from when I performed with my duo partner Chris Rodriguez as a show called Neat as a part of the 2022 Queer and Funny Improv Festival hosted right here in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Huge Theater.
We are Neat. Hello, my name is Chris Rodriguez.
I'm Denzel Belin.
And we're gonna do our signature / only form for you tonight. Robbie, if we could get the slide up, please. One of our favorite things in the whole wide world are genres. And you can see here we have a list of 12 genres. And if you see over here, we have a 12-sided dice for our genres. At the top of every scene, we are going to roll these dice, one for each of us, and then we are going to take those corresponding numbers and combine them into a new weird genre. So, for example, if we roll a 7 and a 9, we will do a sci-fi noir. Now, what happens if we roll the same number, you ask? Well, if we happen to roll 2 6s, we will do a hyper-genre romance.
Romance.
Romance. What does that mean? I don't know.
You may also notice there's no one at this piano here. You may also notice number 10 is musical.
What's
We'll figure it out.
Happen? You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's
Let's
go.
go. 7.
6.
Romance sci-fi. Excellent.
We open on a space station.
There's a projector projecting the words prom night 2323.
There is a port where it seems a robot would have normally been plugged into, but it's empty right now. Knock knock.
Sorry, I thought I was all alone in this janitor's closet.
Sorry, it's just that Jennifer from Space Prom Committee sent me to come find some Clorox. It seems like somebody threw up everywhere.
Hyperspace.
Hey, are you going to Space Prom today?
I mean, I was thinking about it.
Well, I hope I see you there. I mean,
Yeah?
I've been, meaning to. I was gonna ask you,
Yeah?
but then I decided that was a bad idea.
Because of Jennifer. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's just that she runs all of Space
I know.
Station, and
I get it.
but I hope I see you there. I do.
I just don't know if I'm allowed ever since I was ousted from prom committee.
That was a harsh takeover.
I know.
Anyway, I'm gonna take this Clorox and leave.
Okay.
What?
This door doesn't work.
It's just. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm gonna miss Space Prom.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, I
Oh
guess-
look, they're using the robot to serve drinks. But I have my phone. I can hook up the aux and play some music while we wait.
I guess a little music couldn't hurt.
Okay. Cool. I've been really big into throwback jams. There's this artist, Beyonce. Yeah.
So you like classical music too?
I do. Yeah.
It's just kind of hard being out here on this 45-year-long space journey to discover how peanuts work in space. But it's really nice to have a friend along the way.
Oh, friend. Yeah, I guess we're friends.
All right, I can't take it anymore. I've been lying to you and myself.
You hate classical music?
Nobody hates Beyonce. I meant, I didn't want to go to prom with Jessica.
No?
I really did want to go with you. It's just that her dad is president of Space Station and my dad is vice president. They thought it would be like a good thing.
Yeah.
So,
Like one of those classic shows like Game of Thrones.
yeah. It's like a political thing.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey, do you think we could maybe like have a dance?
Yeah, I'd really like that.
Great.
Let me choose another classic Beyonce track.
Uh-oh. It looks like there's been a malfunction on the ship.
Yeah,
There's a yellow alarm going on right now.
I can smell that.
Yeah. It's just that there's a captain's message here that the gravity's gonna be turned off here in a minute.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, here it goes. I mean, I'd still really like that dance, though.
I would like that dance too.
Okay, just give me a second. Just hold on, I'm going the wrong direction.
It's okay. It's okay. I got you. Oh, you used the force. Okay. Okay. Let me just push us back, center, and.
I'm just gonna try to bridge you
Yeah.
up.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, this is good.
Cool.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
I guess we'll just spin forever. I hope you enjoyed that performance clip that was actually part of a longer 25-minute set for that festival. Now, here at our green screen here, we're going to be discussing improv exercises that'll help you connect with focus, energy, and fun on your improv journey. Thanks for joining me for this segment. See you soon.